Okay, so the creator of Bleach recently subliminally accused a major conglomerate of essentially copying Bleach. Not gonna lie, when I first read this, I was kind of like, I'm gonna take a minute to think about this and actually look into it before I talk about it, because you just never know. But at the end of the day, the creator of Bleach has always been one to speak his mind. He never holds back when he got something to say. And yeah, this is a very, very interesting piece of news, because at the end of the day, while yeah, he's the creator of Bleach, one of the biggest things of all time, when stuff like this kind of happens, because at the end of the day, the creator of Bleach has been in the past somewhat plagiarized as well with the manga itself. Like, yeah, Kubo probably don't play about that stuff, so we're gonna talk about that. We got something very, very interesting in the world of Hunter x Hunter that's going on. We're gonna get into it. Very good and wholesome news and about time news for something regarding Akira Toriyama. We got updates regarding the next Jump Festa. About time. If you don't know about Jump Festa, you gonna know today. Crunchyroll made a move that had everybody very, very upset, and we got much more to talk about. So without further ado, let's jump into another exciting episode of Whatever News. And before we continue, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell to get all notifications, and drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. It'd help the channel. It'd help you to get updates quicker in the world of anime and manga. Hit them buttons. Okay, so yeah, people, when I first heard about this story, I ain't gonna lie, I had to sit on it for just a little bit to think about, like, wait a minute, what exactly, you know what I'm saying? Because the creator of Bleach has never been one to shy away from speaking his mind. That's something of probably why he's a little bit more of a notable author than many of the other authors, as far as, like, when Kubo says something, people listen. When Kubo says something, like, that's the whole probably premise of his club outside of that. People really want to hear what he has to say at all times. It's just always very intriguing and interesting, so any little tidbit of information, people are very, open ears. And again, this has been somebody that in the past, whether it be at people that were coming at him, fans, whatever the case may be, he never was someone to stray away from just straight up giving it how it is and telling it how it is. Likewise, the fact that it was a while back, I think it was like a rock and roll artist or something that was trying to plagiarize the Bleach manga. The creator of Bleach has never been one, though, to let things slide, as far as if you try to play with him, you try to rip him off, you try to do some type of stuff, he's gonna get you. And this is no different, where Kubo utilized his club outside, which very smart of the man. Kubo, very, very smart man. He used his platform to kind of voice an opinion on something, but again, probably because of the humble nature of him, because at the end of the day, manga authors, you know what I'm saying, they're usually some humble dudes. It probably won't go to a certain level, maybe. But anyway, let me tell you what happened. Kubo's comments on his club. The Rolling Stone interview just came out, but I've already gone and done another interview. This time a three-way discussion with Morita-san and Orikasa-san. I won't post a picture, but Balenciaga's 2026 autumn-winter tote has one that looks so much like Bleach anime merchandise that I just had to mention it. Go check it out. It gave me a laugh. And when Kubo says stuff like that, it's not that he's thinking like, oh, it's cute, it's funny. It's a, you motherfuckers is ripping me off type. It's a, you motherfuckers is like, y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop with, the plagiarizing of the goat, so to speak. Because again, in the past, people have done that to him, so he's probably not gonna take that lightly, especially something as giant as Balenciaga. Like, Balenciaga is one of the, like those Gucci's and Louis Vuittons and whatnot. If they're getting the sauce from him, yeah, there's something to be said there. I mean, let's take a look. I want to say that somebody pointed out that this might be the bag. And if I'm just being honest, if this is the piece of merchandise that he's talking about that might be ripping off Bleach, I mean, I could kind of see the resemblance in a way. It has like the color tone or whatnot, but not really. Again, if that is the bag that he was referring to, it gives me a little bit of like maybe honestly, it even almost looks like a Full Metal Alchemist door opening or something. I don't know. And as far as my stance goes on plagiarizing, like, we just recently had a story in the news cycle regarding like copying and plagiarism and stuff like that. If they're showing love, and obviously it's a little bit of a different scenario, this is like a corporate thing. Balenciaga makes $1 trillion. Yeah, if they actually took one of his designs, you better compensate him. If you're making money off of his art or whatnot, you better compensate him in some form or another. However, I mean, it's really hard to say, again, based off if that is the bag or whatnot, because it doesn't look like anything off the top of my head that I could say like, oh my god, that looks straight up like Bleach, that looks straight up like a Kubo design. I mean, for all we know, it could be, some Christ consciousness type of stuff where people are connected and they're just making similar things because they're all connected, but they're not copying each other. Although the cynic in me, when I think about at least one or two copycats, be like, yo, that shit, bro, stop copying off of me. you. Oh boy, all those cuss words I'm gonna have to bleep out. But yeah, Kubo pointed it out. Let me know what you guys think. Looking at that bag, does that look off the jump like that's straight up something out of Bleach, or does it just kind of look similar, or does it look like nothing at all that you've seen out of Bleach? Maybe it's a particular design that Kubo did once and he knows 100% that it's his, and he's like, I know that came from me, and that's probably why he's pointing it out. Because again, Kubo don't speak without reason. Kubo always has something of value to bring to the table, always, no matter what. And he probably seen something that gave him a little bit of a like, you're copying off of me, stop it. Especially if they're not gonna show no love, or they're gonna just be on some sucker like, yeah, yo, pay up or move. But yeah, shout out to Tite Kubo and shout out to Bleach. Crazy stuff in the middle of the Bleach Styles in Your Blood War. Kubo is going to war with Balenciaga. Who would have thunk? Moving forward, very, very big update in the world of Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter been on fire lately. We talked about just in the recent episode how the manga is damn near competing with one of the biggest manga out right now, the GOAT piece, the One Piece. Like, Hunter x Hunter has just been making major strides, and as we said before, I'll say it again, Togashi probably realized the more frequent you do this stuff, the more work you put in, the more you're gonna get out of it, because there's just massive things happening. They just announced like how popular things are right now. They had a editor interview from one of the editors of Hunter x Hunter where he was talking about it and how he felt like it's damn near an impossible story to tell, which I'll be honest with you, if you just take a look at Hunter x Hunter for a moment, you will realize that it is one of the most difficult and complex stories to possibly piece together. You got so many of these characters. You got new characters coming in constantly. You have all of this text that has to be delivered, and you have to make sure that, you know, the continuity works, and you got to make sure, you know, it fits according to everything that is actually happening or whatnot. Like, there's just so much with Hunter x Hunter. So the fact that Togashi makes things happen, like, yeah, bring on the success. What do we got in the news cycle? Let me know, Fornev. Let me know, Tim, what's going on. Ooh, I like this silly energy. Where's this coming from? Hunter x Hunter is teasing something for August 2nd by the official Jump YouTube channel. Jump channel on YouTube will premiere for the first time a mysterious secret video clip that appears to be related to Hunter x Hunter on August 2nd. And on it, it looks like, from the thing that we see, is like a TV screen with like a cross or something in the middle, and then there's like a spider web, which makes me think immediately of Hunter x Hunter, the Phantom Troop, you know, Crunchyroll and them or whatnot, Lucifer, and then like lights all around. So very, very interesting of what they're teasing. I mean, I don't want to get everybody's hopes up, because, like, for example, it was fairly recent that we had that big teaser by Tite Kubo regarding that something was going to be announced for Bleach, and then it turned out to be like the music video thingy-majig, or what was it, a reflection of the past, something along the lines of that. So I don't want to be telling everybody immediately like, yo, this is 100% proof confirmed that the anime is returning this date or something. Like, even though, yeah, those big leaks came out when we covered that of Hunter x Hunter might be returning the anime sooner than we think, that basically, you know, there was meeting with Togashi, a secret meeting and all that stuff. So we have those details and whatnot that this very well could be leading to that, and if this is the case, that would be major. But considering that piece of information was fairly recent, and they said they had to get another interview just to start things up, the best case scenario, I guess, would be that they do announce it similar to like Bleach, and the fact of maybe they could have already closed the deal behind the scenes, so to speak, unbeknownst to everyone. And what I mean by that is similar to like Bleach. I want to say, what was it? It was 2020. It was a while. It was the COVID era where they announced like Bleach anime returning, and it wasn't for another 2 or 3 years until you actually got the anime coming through. So it could be a case of that they confirmed the deal behind the scenes that Hunter x Hunter anime is returning, and they're about to announce it, and we'll have to wait like 2 or 3 years for it. Also, I will say this, right? Because first of all, this teaser, whatever it may be, again, keep your expectations at a minimum. If it's the anime announcement, that'd be crazy, but it also could be a music video promo. If it's a music video, just drop the music video, you know what I'm saying? Although sometimes that could work too, I ain't gonna lie. It just depends on if the music is good. But them also having like the Crunchyroll, like Lucifer design there or whatnot, it could very well be that they're gonna do something like, honestly, all it would take right now is to do like a 12 episode anime of Hunter x Hunter. Like, if you're gonna, let's just say you announce it now, we get it end of 28, 29 or something like that, that could work. I mean, that's still a crazy long wait or whatnot, but that could definitely work to make things happen, because I'll say this as well. The Hunter x Hunter anime return, when it comes back and it goes into all the Hisoka stuff and the Phantom Troop stuff, I won't give spoilers, don't worry. That stuff is going to be extremely major, right? Like, that's going to be the talk of the town. Everybody's not going to be able to stop talking. I'm curious, though, when it gets to the Succession Dark Continent arc, if Hunter x Hunter will still, in the anime form, maintain the same notoriety and word of mouth that it will get when it first returns. When it first returns, everybody's going to lose their freaking minds and go crazy, and by the end of the season, if they go up until about, again, some Hisoka related stuff, it's going to be like, people are going to be crying that this is the greatest thing ever. Once it gets to the Succession arc, that's when I'm wondering how things are going to go. Personally, I'll give you a prime example of why it could probably even go more up, because again, people look at the Succession arc that is so dialogue heavy, there's so many new characters, how could that possibly compete against Hunter x Hunter's legacy? And I will tell you right now, the Chimera Ant arc was very similar. If you ever checked out the Chimera Ant arc, yeah, you would argue maybe there was more action battle based stuff on some classic battle type of scenario with, you know, the Chimera Ant, but ultimately it was very dialogue heavy. Most people complained, if you remember, think back, they complained about the narrator never shutting up. Hunter x Hunter's Chimera Ant arc was very much so in that similar fashion, and yet that was one of the most popular arcs. It wasn't until the end, where the climax, where they fought the Chimera Ant King, Meruem and stuff like that, where things actually was like, oh, you know, I mean, there was, again, some battles in between or whatnot, but there was plenty chapters where they were just running up some stairs, figuring, planning, go in a car. I don't know why I feel like singing this, but here in my car, I feel safest of all. I can lock all the doors. Anywho, yeah, I think the Succession arc, for the most part, for people that are doubting it, it's gonna be fine. It's a great arc in and of itself already, reading it through the manga. Personally, this person right here really loves the tone of that, okay? Like, this person right here really appreciates it, because it gives me very much so like a Hunter x Hunter meets Case Closed type of vibe of, it's just a mystery every freaking chapter with so many things surrounding, but again, you still have the nen and battling aspect that is within it, so it kind of takes it to another level. I think the Succession arc could very well. Let me know if you've read any of the Hunter x Hunter manga, even though the chatter of the Hunter x Hunter manga. Do you think that when the anime, if this is the anime announcement right now that we're getting with this little teaser or whatnot, and it comes back, do you think after the first season, where you get that big Hisoka stuff, the second part, the Succession arc, where it's just kind of like this whole, you know, more dialogue heavy story, do you think it can live up to the hype, or maintain, or go above and beyond? Let me know your thoughts on that. Moving forward, Brawler Dudes Unite. Something that probably should have happened a long time ago, just being honest. If there's anybody from the realm of anime and manga that this should have happened for, should have been this person, and ideally well before, you know, their untimely passing and whatnot, because apparently Akira Toriyama has officially been inducted into the Will Eisner Comic Awards Hall of Fame. And to be honest with you, like, I hear that stuff, and first of all, like, love to hear that, you know, a GOAT and a legend still getting praise after his passing and whatnot, so that's great. But then I think about it, I'm like, why wasn't he already in there? Like, if there's anybody in the world of anime and manga that you would immediately think of that would belong in the Hall of Fame, it would be Toriyama, the dude that revolutionized anime and manga in the West since it's, you know, was brought over here. Same guy that had one of the most popular and has the most popular anime globally, like Dragon Ball. Even though One Piece is still, you know, a monster, and Naruto and Bleach and all of these other series, make no mistake about it, when Dragon Ball gets a new run, people are running into the streets. Gang wars were literally put on pause so that people could enjoy Dragon Ball. So yeah, Toriyama, it's well overdue. The legend, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, inducted into the Will Eisner Comic Hall of Fame. Massive, just love to hear it again. I always love to hear Toriyama getting praised. Gonna praise him my, you know, entire life moving forward, because again, this man changed my life. If it wasn't for Dragon Ball, most of us would not be doing what we're doing, talking about the things that we love and stuff like that, because that is really what catapulted everything into the situation we're in today. So shout outs to Akira Toriyama. God bless the legend. Rest in peace. Moving forward, big announcement for big announcements. Hey, in case you don't know what Jump Festa is, every year the people, the higher up, so to speak, do some sort of festivities, some sort of celebration time where everybody comes together and they do big announcements for what's to come for the next year for anime and manga regarding Shonen Jump titles or Shueisha titles for that matter. And we got an update that Jump Festa 2027 is set for December 19th through the 20th at Makuhari Messe. Jump Festa 2027 will run December 19th and 20th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. spanning international exhibition halls 1 through 9 and 11 with final entry at 4:30 p.m. The event highlights hits from Weekly Shonen Jump, Jump Plus, and more through merch booths, art displays, interactive zones, and the Jump Super Stage for big announcements. Last year's edition brought surprises like new One Piece film, Don to Don Season 3, fueling fans' hopes for Boruto Black Clover, and Dragon Ball updates this time around. Lineup details will emerge via magazines, the event site, and social channels by the fall. And I'm gonna be honest, with this year's Jump Festa, based on where we're at right now, because we're still about to get some stuff, right? We still, for example, they mentioned Black Clover. Black Clover anime will already have made its run, the first season, or either first half or the first season, depending on how many episodes we get. So, for example, for Black Clover, we'll probably either get an announcement of if they do like a half of a core break, like let's just say we do 12 episodes and then they take a break, it'll tease the next set of episodes. If there's only one season that is planned right now for Black Clover of 12 episodes, then they'll do those and we'll probably get either word or a trailer for the next set of episodes. Somewhere in that ballpark is more than likely what will happen with something like Black Clover. I'll be honest with you. I'll be very honest. Bleach will be done by then. So if we get any Bleach announcements, it'll either be film. The Hell Arc sequel manga that supposedly is still supposed to happen. So we might get big wording on that. But as far as like animation side of things, Bleach will be done for a while. It'll be a while before we get more Bleach, right? Could be a film coming or something like that. But for now, Bleach is one of their biggest properties over there at Studio P. And it's going to be, kind of dormant for a bit. So then where do we go next? At that point, again, Black Clover will have either been halfway done with its first season or completely done with its first season. So that leads me to think it'll be a good as time as any for Jump Festa 2027 for them to give us the first trailer for the Boruto anime return. Like I'm gonna call it right here. Could be wrong. Could just be me. We will find out. But this is just an opinion-based guesstimation that it makes all sense and all things point towards Bleach is gonna be over. Black Clover will be midway or over at that point for the first season. They're probably gonna announce Boruto, either a big major announcement with a trailer or a teaser, something there. It just makes the most sense. Like that should be what we get out of there, the big Boruto announcement. Honestly, not sure how they're gonna play this out. I've said this a billion times and I'll say it a billion times more. Film. Give a movie to adapt the remainder of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. You market it with the whole thing of Naruto and Hinata getting, sealed away by Kawaki and, Boruto's hopeless peril. Maybe a little teaser at the end of time skip Boruto and Sasuke on an adventure. You lead that into an anime. Boom. You want to put some original stories that are done with supervision of Kishimoto and, of course, Ikamoto of Boruto and Sasuke on adventures. You do that. That's how you sell Boruto as a return. Because first of all, everybody's going to run in. All the Naruto fans, wait, this is what they're going to show what happened with Naruto finally? Oh my God. Everybody, $1 trillion. Do that. Okay? I really hope that Jump Festa 2027, my biggest hope out of all of it, for the most part, is that. Like a Boruto movie announcement. Will that be the case? Will it just be the anime? We'll see. But personally, think I know what I'm talking about, that should be what they do. I mean, at the end of the day, they're in the business of making money, aren't they? But aside from that, One Piece, it got a million things going for it. So what to expect from One Piece? More One Piece. You know what I'm saying? Probably a trailer for the One Piece remake. Probably a new trailer, shall I say, for the One Piece remake. Maybe another teaser for the live action, stuff like that. I really personally, if there's anything that I would want from One Piece at this point, which doesn't seem like they're really like all gung-ho about doing it anytime soon, another One Piece anime movie. Like, I would take a One Piece flashback anime movie all day. Make a whole film about the Rocks Pirates or something like that. That was a crazy story that I would love to see a movie of. I'm just saying, if you're gonna, that's what I would want from One Piece. Again, a personal wish list of One Piece stuff, of like, give us a film, an anime film for that matter, and make it good. In the realm of Dragon Ball will already be knee deep into either Frieza's resurrection. No, it'll probably be in the Universe 6 stuff at that particular point. Probably it'll be teasing maybe the next arc of Dragon Ball Super that, is going to be remastered and remade. Maybe a small teaser into the new stuff that people are actually waiting for from Dragon Ball Super with the Galactic Patrol arc. Like, people are waiting for that. So maybe a teaser in that realm. And yeah, all the other anime, Don will probably have the next season anime. Kagurabachi, another trailer, a complete trailer would be fantastic. And maybe a Ichi the Witch anime announcement. That would be interesting. Moving forward, this story for a while has kind of rocked the community, and I really wanted to speak on it. I was waiting for the right time to talk about it because many people have many different opinions on what was, recently announced regarding Crunchyroll and a move that they made. If you don't know what Crunchyroll is, it's the biggest anime distributor for, anime on streaming in the world. I mean, they say Netflix, but when this person thinks of, mind you, anime guy here, hello, anime god. When I think of anime, don't think of Netflix or anything like that. Think of Crunchyroll. Like, that's just genuine. Ever since they, beat out Funimation and bought Funimation and merged under Sony and whatnot, you think of Crunchyroll. So they have essentially like the powerhouse and whatnot. And this big announcement is that Crunchyroll store will become exclusive to only Mega and Ultimate Fan subscribers this August. So basically, the people that are allowed access to the store itself, you know what I'm saying, the vault, so to speak, of Crunchyroll are only going to be, it's like a fans only type of deal. I'm going to say a few reasons of why I understand why they would make this move, why I get why people would be upset. I guess it's why people would be upset, because it's like, oh my god, you're restricting us from having access unless we become a fan. What the heck? Like, how could you do this? At the same time, the industry has changed over the last decade and a half or so. This is not the same industry where, or even for that matter, the support from the fans of like what it once was. Back in the days, you could put, stuff up, for example, when it was Right Stuff or whatnot, people were buying anime by the boatloads. People were buying merchandise by the boatloads. It probably isn't the same scenario, and the upkeep and the keeping maintenance and all that stuff costs money. So rather than just, continuing on with how things have been, they came up with a strategy of like, well, anime merchandise purchases and stuff like that maybe aren't like what they used to be, and we got at the same time get some residual income. Let's take a different approach to this thing. And I am not gonna lie, I have no qualms with what they're doing at all. If I want anime merch and I can't get it from the Crunchyroll store, there's like a trillion. Amazon. Get your stuff from Amazon. You probably get better prices. Like, at the end of the day, Amazon is fantastic. Amazon is great. Why would I need, you know what I'm saying? I'm no shade to Crunchyroll or whatever, because at the end of the day, I utilize them for my anime watching and whatnot. But if I really want anime merchandise, anime manga, anime Blu-rays, I want to purchase something or whatnot, which, sometimes it's nice to get a nice little package with some anime and manga stuff, not gonna lie. Amazon, you know what I'm saying? For people that rock with Crunchyroll and they got a fan subscription or whatnot, there you go. You'll have access, and they probably have all sorts of deals and specials behind there, and you get some really good stuff. So it's kind of like a nothing burger to be mad about this. I'll be honest with you. Like, if you want it, become a member. I'm sure it's not that much money at all, and you could get access to some of these stuff that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else because they have ties or whatnot. And if not, for like the anime and all that other stuff, just go out in the wild, you know what I'm saying? You'll find whatever you're looking for. If it's really a big deal to, oh my gosh, they made a membership thing, it's like, it's really not. And people are just blowing things out of proportion as per usual. Like, you're not being restricted, fam. Pay up or shut up. Not trying to be harsh about it, I'm just being realistic. Pay up or shut up. Then lastly, just a quick little note of, there's a story that was recently recommended called Underdoctor. Underdoctor Twitter account mentions that following Kohei Horikoshi's recommendation, Volume 2 will have another super luxurious author recommendation. So the creator of My Hero Academia allegedly recommended this manga, Underdoctor. And again, the reason I'm bringing it up is because, there's always new jump titles that you never know what could pop, what could be good. I'm gonna just be honest, from what I heard of the premise, and I'm not sure how accurate or whatnot, but I heard, like, what is it? Something about like a doctor that over prescribes people medications to keep them stuck or whatnot. Like, is that the story? Regardless, I'm not really sure how I feel about this Underdoctor situation. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, Kagurabachi, I'm here for it all the way. Ichi the Witch, let's go. Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, no matter what with the haters. I get the haters or whatever the case may be, but those three are fine. This, and again, if I'm wrong on the plot or I just completely made it up or whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's all we have for this episode of Forever News. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'm Tim. As always, people, have an awesome day. Peace in, and yeah, you just watched another episode of Forever News. Peace in, and yeah, if you haven't already, join up and become a channel member on the channel. I probably should have plugged it more throughout this episode. I think I will in the aftermath. Yeah, channel memberships. Become a member. Yeah. When I'm in my dreams, I see you and me on a yacht somewhere, getting hot somewhere. Met me at the bottom, but we on the top somewhere. Such beautiful eyes, I'll give you props somewhere. You don't even understand what you do to me. When I'm all alone, all I think about is you and me. Truthfully, you're like a gift more than jewelry. I know you feel the same, girl, you ain't fooling me.